use mathematical induction to prove that summation r equals to 1 to n r of r factorial is equals to n plus 1 factorial minus 1 for n belongs to z plus. Now the thing is, for induction we have three steps. First step, step 1, proof against n equals to 1. The theoretical part is very important. If you understand this particular part, then the problem is easy for you. Now second step is step 2, induction hypothesis. Induction hypothesis, where we assume for n equals to k, the proof is true. Now the third step is induction. This step is called induction step. So in induction step we need to prove n equals to, for n equals to k plus 1, the proof is right. So these are the three steps that we need to follow. The first step is proof against n equals to 1. Second step is induction hypothesis. This particular step is called induction hypothesis, and in this particular step we need to assume for n equals to k the particular proof is correct. And the third step is called induction step, and in this step we need to prove for n equals to k plus 1 the proof will be right. So after all these things, if for n equals to k plus 1 also the proof is right, then we can say that the LHS equals to RHS proved. Okay, so the first step, now we will move towards the first step. This is the first step, that is step 1. So first step, for step 1 n will be 1. So for n equals to 1 we have summation. Here you can see the actual equation. So summation r equals to 1 to 1, r equals to 1 to 1, r of r factorial is equals to 1 into 1 factorial is equals to 1. So we can write 1 plus 1 factorial minus 1. This is also same, because we need to prove, we need to write in this particular format, that is n plus 1 factorial. Now you can see the value of this is 1, and 1 plus 1 factorial is basically 2 factorial. So value of 2 factorial is 2 minus 1 equals to 1. So in this way these two steps are same. So step 1 is satisfied. So step 1 is satisfied. Now step 2. Please see please see that this step is very important. We just assuming the part, that is induction step. This is the induction hypothesis step. So induction hypothesis. Now the most important thing is, in induction hypothesis step we need to assume. So let us write assume and whatever I am writing excluding the steps, you need to write in this particular way to get the full marks from these induction problems, because step 1 is important and you need to clarify which one is step 1, then you need to clarify which one is step 2. That what I am doing, step by step you need to follow. Then induction hypothesis. So assume pk is true, p of k is true for some k greater than equal to 1. Because why there is a equal to sign for inequality? Because for k equals to 1 we have proved that particular part. Now what is k? K is any arbitrary value of n. So assume pk is true for some k greater than equals to 1. So if k is true, then we can obviously write summation r equals to 1 to k, because the limit is from 1 to k, that is k is greater than equals to 1. So the minimum value of k will be 1. So that's why r is equals to from 1 to k, r of r factorial is equals to, because we are assuming this particular part to be true, so we can obviously write from here, that is k plus 1 factorial minus 1. So we are getting this answer, and how we are getting this answer? Just from the hypothesis that we are assuming this is to be true. So assume pk is true for some k is greater than equals to 1, where the minimum value of k is 1 and the value of k will go up to k. So summation r equals to 1 to k, r of r factorial is equals to k plus 1 factorial minus 1. So this step is done. So I think till now it is clear for you. Now we need to go towards the step 3, where we need to prove for k plus 1 also the induction hypothesis is true, and for if k plus 1 also the induction hypothesis is true, then the mathematical induction is correct, and for k plus 1 if it is not true, then the mathematical induction is not correct, and the thing is LHS will not be equals to RHS. But for our question it is written that the LHS equals to RHS, so it is obvious that if we use for k plus 1th term, this will be correct. So let us do this part. It is a very important part, that is step 3. So step 3 is called the induction step. So induction step. So in induction step we need to show P of k plus 1 is also true. So if P of k plus 1 is true, then the limit will be from summation r equals to 1 to k plus 1, because in previous slide you can see that the summation was from 1 to k, but now we need to find out the induction for the k plus 1th term. So r equals to 1 to k plus 1, r of r factorial is equals to, we can write k plus 1 into k plus 1 factorial plus k plus 1 into k plus 1 factorial plus the proof for the kth term, that is r equals to 1 to k r of r factorial. This is the proof for the kth term this step is from induction hypothesis. This step is from induction hypothesis. This particular part is already written in the step 2, that is induction hypothesis. So this complete equation is true now. Now we can write k plus 1 into k plus 1 factorial plus this part will be that we have proved earlier, k plus 1 factorial minus 1, just from the induction hypothesis step. Again I am saying this particular step is from induction hypothesis step. So now we can take k plus 1 factorial in common, then we will have k plus 1 plus 1 into k plus 1 factorial minus 1. So we can write k plus 2 into k plus 1 factorial minus 1. Now the thing is, n plus 2 into n plus 1 factorial is basically nothing but n plus 2 factorial, or this is just an example, n into n minus 1 factorial in this particular way. So n minus 1 factorial is there and the next time is n, so it is basically nothing but n factorial. So in this way, this factorial formula you also need to know, otherwise you will not be able to do the induction problems. For many cases, for many functions, you need to do all these calculations. So n plus 2 into n plus 1 factorial, this is the previous term factorial, this is the previous term factorial, and we are just multiplying this particular part. Also you can see the example, that is 3 factorial into 4 is basically nothing but 4 factorial. So this is the part, 3 factorial into 3 plus 1 factorial is basically nothing but 3 factorial into 3 plus 1 is basically nothing but 4 factorial. So in this way we have calculated this part. So from here we can write it is basically nothing but k plus 2 factorial minus 1. We can write this k plus 2 factorial minus 1. Now we can write this in this particular way, that is k plus 1 plus 1 factorial minus 1. Just see the part here, it must be n plus 1 factorial minus 1, and we have taken n equals to k plus 1, and see the complete thing is here, that is k plus 1 factorial minus 1. We can assume it to be n plus 1 factorial minus 1. So this part is done. So obviously for k plus 1th term also this particular equation is true. So we can conclude hence P of k plus 1 is true. We can conclude this part. So now the conclusion. The conclusion is very important. You need to write it. If P of 1 is true and P of k plus 1 is true, P of k plus 1 is true when assuming P of k is true, because we have assumed P of k is equals to true, and after that we have proved P of k plus 1 equals to true. So this is the line. Then P of n is true for all n belongs to Z plus. So in this way this problem is done. So the mathematical induction is proved. So it is proved. So in this way, in step by step, you need to calculate all these things. Thank you for watching IB 360. In next video, we will discuss the later problems. Thank you.